Hi there. In this video, we're going to continue looking at query functions inside of Power Query. To start off with, we're not in a workbook. We're here in a folder. This folder has 5 workbooks in it, and each workbook has a different product subcategory. And for that product subcategory, it's got all the different actual products and all the sales associated with it. Right, so here we've got all the muffins. If we look at this one, we've got all the different kinds of lemonades. And if we look at this one, we've got all the different kinds of coffee. So this is all these right here, right? So there's coffee, lemonade, muffins, scone, tea. They all look like this. We want to combine them all, but of course we've got to delete these 2 rows. We're going to have to delete the last 2 rows. We're going to promote the headers. Stuff we've all done before, but now we're just going to use a function to do it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close that guy. And I don't know where my folder went, but it doesn't really matter. We don't need it. So technically, I'm in user functions, function query practical.xlsx, and I'm in sheet 1. Although it doesn't really matter. You could do this from any blank workbook as long as you've got the source data. So we're going to get our data from a file. We're going to get it from a folder. Right? We're going to browse. So I'm going to head onto my thumb drive where I keep all this stuff. I'm going to go to my Power Query folder. I'm going to go to my data sources, and I'm going to be getting stuff from folder of workbooks using function. And I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to click OK again. And I should get the entire folder as a table. That's beautiful. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, well, there's a couple things I'm going to do. Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, I'm going to twirl open queries, and I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to right-click on it. I'm going to right-click on the query and duplicate. So why am I doing that? Well, so in the first one, I'm going to build the cleaning portion, and in the second one, I'm going to apply that function. So I'm going to define it. I'm going to use this query. I'm going to turn this into a function in just a second. And then when I'm done, I'm going to use that function in this query. And basically, I don't want to have to go click new sources and file and folder and go navigate twice. This is just a quick way of doing that. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to click over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by doing our cleaning, right? So this is stuff we've done before. So let's go to any particular workbook, doesn't matter which one. So we're going to click on this particular binary. It's going to open the binary, and we're going to click on table 1. Okay, so we've done that navigation. That's nice. So we're now going to do our transformations. So we're going to remove the top 2 rows, then the bottom 2 rows, and promote these headers. So let's do that. Remove top rows. How many would you like to remove? We want to remove 2, please. Thank you. We're going to right-click. We're going to remove the bottom rows. Remove the bottom rows. We're going to remove the bottom 2 rows because we're going to do that in all of the tables. But for right now, we're just going to do it in this first sample one. And now we're going to right-click and use first rows headers, or promote headers. I often call it that because that's what the function's called. Okay, so most of the stuff we want to do is contained here in this particular query. There's some stuff we don't care about. Basically, what we want to do is we want to take the portion that takes a binary and does all the transformations to it, and we're going to take that and everything past that and just sort of contain that into a function, or sort of push that into a function. Pretty easy. So I'm going to head over to View, and I'm going to go to the Advanced Editor. Okay, so there's a couple ways to do this. Well, actually, there's a ton of ways to do everything. In fact, maybe there's only one way to do this. I just like saying there's a couple ways to do this. Something I say a whole lot. Okay, so let's start by finding the step that takes in a binary. Now, if you're not good at looking at this, this might take a second, but I am pretty good at looking at this. So I know that this part right here, it just takes the entire file folder and it turns it into a table. Okay, and like this one right here goes and grabs like one of those. Let's see, so we can even look at it. Hit done. The second one just takes the binary. So now we actually want to convert the binary. That's the important thing we have to do. So we're going to go to View, Advanced Editor. So this is the step, the one that contains Excel.workbook, that takes a binary. So this whole portion right here is going to be a binary, right? That's what it is. So we're going to go up here. We're going to hit Enter. We're going to create a big comment block with all this stuff, just in case we ever want to go back and see how it worked in the first place. So now all of this stuff is comments. These look like steps, but they're not. They're just comments because we've created this comment block. So now we're going to take this step, which is most of what we want. Control C to copy, enter, Control V to paste. Okay, that seemed like an exercise in futility, but wait, I'm going to do something. So rather than taking in this sort of static location, we're going to take in arg binary. Arg binary, that sounds like something you'd use in a function. It is. So the next thing we have to do is come up here, and we're going to do open parentheses, space, arg binary, space, close parentheses, and do our little generate a function operator, okay? So this operator says, hey, I'm creating a function. Everything to the left or to the right of this is what the different steps are, how we do the transformation. Everything to the left is what goes into the transformation. So this particular transformation is going to take something called arg binary. It's going to ignore all this stuff because we commented it out with that and that. So it's going to push arg binary into the Excel workbook function, which is going to turn it from a binary workbook into a table. And then we're going to do all those transformations that we defined just a moment ago. And when we're done, we're going to return the last step, or promote headers. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click Done. That's all the hard work. We're going to come up here to where it says Name. And we're going to change this to FNC Clean Workbook. Give it a nice descriptive name. Okay, so now I've got a function called Clean Workbook. We're going to come over here to Folder of Workbooks. We've got a function that takes a binary and produces a nice clean table. We've got a bunch of binaries. Hopefully you see where this is going. Let's go ahead and clean this up. We don't need most of this stuff. I only really want this and this at the moment, so I'm going to left click on this, shift click on that, right click. We're going to remove other columns because we don't care about the other ones. We've only got these two things that we want. So let's go to add column, add custom column, and now we're going to call our function. FNC clean workbook. I'm sorry, this is just cleaned workbooks. That's the name of the column. And what are we going to do in the column? We're going to call the function clean workbook. Yeah, I got the case right there. Okay, and we're going to open parentheses. It only takes one argument. That argument is a binary. Do we have a column that has a bunch of binaries in it? We do. It's called content right there. See, binary, binary, binary. So we're going to click right there, double click on content, and click OK. So now we start with these binaries, which are kind of useless. But if we click on the table, this column has passed each one of these binaries through our little cleaning function and produced these nice, clean, pretty tables. There we go. Okay, so to finish this off, I'm going to click there, right click, I'm going to remove this column, don't need it anymore. And now I'm going to expand this column. I'm going to uncheck use original column name as prefix because I always uncheck that, or mostly always. Click OK. And now we've got all of the data combined into a single table. And we even, as a bonus, have which workbook it came from. In fact, if we want to, we can right-click on this and call this like source workbook or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so that is an excellent way that you can use functions to sort of like walk through using the GUI, like do a bunch of steps just using the GUI, and then transform all those steps into a function, and then apply the function to an entire folder. All right, well, I do hope that was helpful, and I will see you next video. Wait, hold on. Just as a postscript, there's one last thing that I want to say. So the techniques that we're using in here, particularly the technique where we come in here and we define our processes and then we just type in this at the beginning of the query. That is not my idea at all. That idea, I heard about it. It's kind of right here. On Power Pivot Pro, which is a fantastic blog. If you're not following it, you should be following it, like now. Stop listening to this video and just go, well, wait to the end of this video, then go find it. There was an excellent article by Matt Allington back in 2015 where he talked about doing basically this exact same thing. And again, to give credit where credit is do like to the second degree. I guess he got the idea from, or at least part of it from Miguel Yopis, which I think is how you pronounce his name, from his past analytics conference presentation. So if you want to look at the original article, here's the URL for that right there. If you want to go see the original presentation that all this stuff is based on, you can come to the past BA conference and right there, and I think you can watch the whole thing. Can we watch it? Maybe you have to register. But anyways, okay, I just wanted to say that because I do like to give credit where credit is due. I will add a little twist to some of this in my next video. Thanks for watching, and I do hope that was helpful.